Hey boys and girls and teachers, welcome back to another week of Sunday School. I'm so glad that you joined with us. You might notice that I've got a little bit different background going on right now. I'm actually in New Orleans, Louisiana, all the way down to the Gulf Coast, because today, as you're watching this video, we're getting ready to celebrate the installation of my brother, Andy, as pastor of St. Paul Lutheran Church here in New Orleans. And so a little bit later on today, I'm going to be preaching for his installation service, and I'm really excited to be able to be with him and with some of our family as he and his family begin this new part of his journey. Some of you may have known he was serving as a missionary in Mexico City, and now he's taken this call and started a new journey here in New Orleans. And so some of you might also know Pastor Lund and his wife Hope had their twins almost a week and a half ago now, and they're doing well. They're still in the hospital in Des Moines, but every day doing a little bit better, and hopefully sometime this week they may be able to come home. So I would encourage you to continue keeping Pastor Lund and Hope and Dorothy and Henry in your prayers as they continue to grow and develop. Today we've got an awesome story. Again, last week we got to talk about Jesus being born, and this week I want you to think about Christmas time again, but I want you to think about the presents that you get. Think about your favorite present that you've gotten at Christmas time. Because today we've got another part of that Christmas story. It's about the wise men who came, and they came bearing gifts. They came because they had seen this star in the east, and they made a long journey from where they lived to see Jesus. Now, we don't know how many wise men there were. We don't know where exactly they came from. And we don't know exactly, besides the star, what triggered their interest in it. But there are these group of guys who come bearing gifts to see this new baby who's been born King of the Jews. And if you remember, I wanted you to think about those presents that you received, because they brought presents for baby Jesus. Do you remember what they were? 3 of them are listed in the text. Do you know? Shout them out if you know. Gold, yep. Frankincense, and myrrh. Those were the 3 gifts that they brought. Were all very costly and expensive gifts. But before they got to Jesus, they made a pit stop in Jerusalem, which was the capital of Israel. And that seems like the place to go if you want to find a king. And they go to the current king, Herod, and they ask, where is this new king that's been born, King of the Jews? And Herod has to get all the leaders together because he doesn't know what they're talking about. And they finally find the prophecy that the new king is born in Bethlehem. And so they continue their journey to Bethlehem, and they find Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, and they bow down and worship him and present him with these gifts. And that's a neat story, right? About a long journey, about gifts, about finding him by going through Jerusalem and then ending up in Bethlehem. But the best part of that story, at least for you and for me, is the fact that the wise men were not part of the Jewish family. And so this Messiah had been promised through God's people, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to the whole tribes of Israel. And yet, you and I aren't part of the tribes of Israel yet either. Neither were the wise men. They were what we would call Gentiles. And the good news at Christmas time of the wise men is that God sent Jesus for all people in the world, whether you were part of his chosen people originally, the Jewish people, or the Gentiles. Jesus came for everyone. And so that's the great gift that we receive at Christmas, is Jesus' birth being for you and for me. And so when you see the wise men and you hear the story of the wise men, I want you to think about how that part of the story is God's clear sign that Jesus is for you and for me. So enjoy your day in Sunday school. Have a lot of fun. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon.